So hi guys, welcome to StoomCast. So today I've got what I believe is one of the top purple belts in Scotland, Kevin McAloon. Kevin's from SBG Moray. I said purple belt up there. Kevin's a very accomplished competitor. I mean, you look at his record throughout competitions has been absolutely fantastic. He's definitely he should have a trophy cabinet up the road because he's won a lot of golds over the years. Fought a lot of big guys as well, beat a lot of big guys throughout his career in Jiu-Jitsu. So it's a pleasure to have you on, Kevin. How you doing?
I'm real good, mate. How are you? Thanks for having me on. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, listen, anytime. I see you were definitely one of the guys I wanted to get on. I said I've got a big list of people who I want to get on, and I see your name was one of the guys on the list that I was excited to get on. I say especially because of your competition record. I mean, you've done, and again, I'm just looking at Smooth Comp just now. 44 wins, 5 losses, and when you look through the
list. How many is it?
It's 40. Well, I don't know how update this is, but it's 44 wins, 5 losses.
Yeah, so, one of them is 2 of those. I lost a coin toss to Martin Donaldson, and I'm not sure if they done the. I can tell you who the losses are. The losses are Cami, Nico,
yep.
And 2 of those are to Tristan as well.
Yeah.
I think one of them is losing a coin toss to Shea in the finals, and one of those is losing a coin toss to Martin in the final as well.
Right.
But I'm not like bitter about it or anything. Yeah.
But I'm looking at, as I said, I'm looking at the list, and all I'm seeing is gold, all the way through. I'd say the odd silver, but I'd say the majority of it's just gold. I think you had 1 bronze there, but
yeah, that was a Cami in February there. Me and Cami had a good war.
Yeah.
He put me out first round. But a pretty good performance.
Yeah.
It was quite close, but yeah, Cami Nico put me out.
Yeah. But it's as I say, the list of people. I mean, the guys that you fought. I mean, and beat. I mean, Tristan. Obviously beat him a couple of times now. Cami Nico, you beat him. Nathaniel. Martin Smith. I tell you, that's big Martin Smith at the Grip House. Obviously.
Yeah, big Martin.
Yeah. So. Who else have we got? In fact, you beat Martin a couple of times. I see that. Graham McQuiston, Gordon Price, Stuart Brown, Chris Murray. So Paul Lopez. So again, a kind of who's who of Jiu-Jitsu guys in Scotland that you've beat. And I'd say not many losses. I mean, you mentioned obviously a couple of coin tosses and things like that, which can go anyway. But yeah, I mean, for you, how did you find your way into Jiu-Jitsu? I mean, because obviously I'm presuming in Moray or up north, there's probably not as many as you would get, let's say, in Glasgow. So how did you find your way into Jiu-Jitsu?
To tell you the truth, actually, I was actually on this lad's holiday, right? And so, you know what, like, guys having a laugh and stuff like that, and then like there's pushing and shoving and stuff, blah blah blah. But I kind of always felt like I never really knew how to fight, and to kind of cover that, especially when I left school, I kind of felt threatened a little bit when I was out. I would kind of be one of those guys. If someone pushed me, I would like make sure I would bark way louder than what I would bite, just to try and basically cover the fact that I absolutely knew deep down that I couldn't fight. Like whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, one day on this lad's holiday, this guy was like, "Right, get off that sunbed, otherwise I'll crack you."
Mm-hmm.
And I was just lying on this sunbed, and I was just like, "Fuck!" Like I'm on a wet poolside. Like this guy's ready to punch me. I'm lying on my back, can't exactly stand up and start swinging. And I kind of knew straight away. I had like a realization. I was like, I need to be able to learn to fight, but obviously not escalate a situation to throwing bombs. And I didn't want to get embarrassed either. So I just basically got up quietly, walked away, and that sort of triggered something in me. I knew like I didn't want to feel like that again.
Yeah.
So I remember actually one of the guys I was with had brought like I can't remember, it was like a martial arts magazine, can't remember which one it was, and on the front happens to be those sort of famous photos, I think, of like Hoyce and Hickson. I don't know who, but one of them was doing like a flying armbar to the other on the beach. It's something like that, and I remember literally reading about Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and stuff, and I just kind of, that had set off a search in me. I was like, holy shit, that's what I need to learn. I absolutely need to learn how to grapple. I was like, amazing. And to be honest, I didn't watch UFC or anything like that, but when I came home from this holiday, I knew straight away that I wanted to learn some kind of wrestling or grappling or something along those lines. And someone told me of like this place. There's a gym, and it's a taekwondo gym, but up the stairs these guys were meeting up together and they were doing like grappling and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember going down, and that's when I met Aidan there. I went to school with Aidan, Aidan Stephen, obviously. If you don't know him, he's a Cage Warriors pro, but I think most people probably know him if you're listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
So me and Aidan kind of got more pals that way, and I ended up bumping into like Martin Donaldson, and that's where most of the guys up here sort of started. And it was called Focus Martial Arts, so it became Focus on the Ground. They're their own sort of team now. We moved on into SBG, but that's where I started basically getting into what was grappling. And to be perfectly honest, it wasn't really structured or anything like that. It was just, what do you want to do today? Let's learn an armbar. Let's learn this fancy flying move. There was no structure to it. There was no rules. So for the first 2 years, I would say, it was just guys rolling around who wanted to maybe do a bit of MMA, wanted to do a bit of grappling. No one really had a clue to start with, to be perfectly honest. But I remember when Martin Donaldson came to training, he'd actually had some experience of some SBG coaching, and he brought a much more structured element and approach. He'd sort of ask me something, he'd be like, why did you do that? And I was just like, I don't know, it was fun. I rolled off of Mount Top to play bottom just because it was fun, you know? I had no idea sort of what I was doing. And those guys were kind of interested in MMA, so I kind of followed them along and eventually got into a little bit of boxing, done a little bit of Muay Thai training and that kind of thing. And we just kind of then became what was known as the Jiu-Jitsu Misfits, because we were basically not really fitting into any particular group. We weren't really fitting in at the Jiu-Jitsu club because we were more like wanting to do MMA. We weren't fitting in at Muay Thai. We weren't fitting in at boxing for the same reasons, you know. So it was me, Martin, Aidan, and then a guy, Ewan McLeod, came along, who's probably better known as Ginge. It sounds weird saying his actual name, but he's got a fight coming up soon. So that's how I sort of got into it. I definitely at first wasn't really into competing, at least competing jiu-jitsu. I competed MMA first. And when I done MMA, I literally was basically just doing jiu-jitsu in a cage. I don't know, if you've ever seen my fights, it's not that exciting. I think I've landed one punch in 3 fights. So I mean, that's how I got into jiu-jitsu. And after that, I just realised I much more enjoyed jiu-jitsu, and then started to enjoy competing a little bit just to keep active. And I only started more competing towards about 2014, 2015, and then kind of started to keep it more regular from there. I think I only done one white belt competition, and after that I competed from blue belt. So and then it's definitely been more of a constant thing since I got my purple belt competing. And
I'd say a lot of people in obviously the Jiu-Jitsu community in Scotland, I'd say more, but they've probably more seen you at purple belt, because I'd say you've been very active as a purple belt. And as we mentioned there, obviously had some good competition that you've come up against. Do you feel for you, I mean, the competition that you have come up against, I mean, do you feel that's kind of made you kind of better as you've gone on with the guys that you're up against at the moment?
It's a good question. But I sort of have a mindset, like, I try not to get too hung up on, like, oh, fighting this guy from Scotland, or I'm fighting this guy on SGI, or fighting this guy, because it's all like stepping stones to getting better. If I look back, I'm not going to be like, oh wow, I'm so glad I beat this guy. It's more about, like, it was more about my own personal development.
Yeah.
Me getting better. When I first started, if you'd told me, oh look, Kevin, you could get to purple belt level, I'd have been like, wow, purple belt, I'll never get to that. I'll never be able to get to that level.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, competing and things like that, I honestly really enjoy it, and honestly, as just a challenge, and I don't try to focus too much on who I'm competing against.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it is cool to look back and say, you know what, I'm competing against, like, I've competed against Mop, right?
Yeah.
Just recently, but when I first came across Mop, I was actually taking photographs of his fight. I can't remember what show it was, but it was the one where Stevie Ray fought Scott Ward. I actually used to take pictures of lots of fights, and I used to come and, like, film guys training and stuff. And then eventually, I just got I was like, oh, this looks so much fun. Like, I had to join in, really.
Yeah.
I couldn't stay on the sidelines. I just wanted to train. So in terms of, like, my development, I would say, you know, I really enjoy competing in things, but it's always like, after you compete, I'm like, well, on to the next. Like, what's next? You know, I don't feel like, oh, I want to compete and beat this person. If I'm getting better and it means I have to compete against them, you know, then that's great. In particular, but there's no, like, I don't sit there and go, you know, I'd love to compete against this guy or that guy. It's cool, whatever happens. If you know, if someone says you're going to get matched up against X, then yeah, great, and that's a step forward in your development. Yeah. Then that's awesome. That's what I'm there for. You know, I don't want to get too focused on beating particular purple belts or anything like that, because at the end of the day, I want to be competing and beating other black belts, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's what I see it.
And who's been? I mean, you've had a number of fights. Who's been your favourite fight, or what's been your favourite fight out of all the ones that you've had?
I don't know. I enjoyed, although it probably wasn't the most exciting. I enjoyed the SGI 4-man. Yeah. That felt like a lot of pressure, because what happened was, like, I had Mark in the first round, Mark Young, and you know, and he was, like, super tough to submit. Yeah. And then I was thinking, like, oh man, there's this, like, guy coming up from Northeast Jiu-Jitsu. He's meant to be, like, an absolute savage wrestler, and he beat Kami, and then I was like, uh-oh, like, this is crazy, like, you know. Yeah. So I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to be on my game. So that kind of felt like a big deal at the time. Yeah. At least to me. I don't know if people know as well, when it was me versus Tristan for the belt for me to defend as well. Like, that was a real nervous one for me, because Tristan had actually beaten me. It was in what's the other comp? It's BJJ 24/7. Yeah. So Tristan caught me with this ghost escape dart, and I think he's caught a lot of people in Scotland with his dart. He's managed to. He lets people pass and then does a ghost escape straight into a dart. And my God, he, like, choked me until a point I couldn't feel my arms. Right. And that was nerve wracking for me, because they had me against Tristan, and I was like, oh fuck, like, going to go there and lose in front of all these people, like, what, like, no, like, this is it, bubbles burst, because I always had that sort of imposter syndrome feeling, like, you've just been fluking it the whole way. So I kind of felt like the bubble was going to burst. And I remember during the match, sort of, Tristan kind of latched onto a footlock, and then I was like, all right, that's it, here we go.
Yeah.
And then after like a minute or so of defending, I was actually like, no, Kev, you can actually get through this.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling like the 5 minute mark had gone, and then something just happened inside me, and I was like, no, time to go. And then I just started putting it on, and I eventually escaped the footlock, passed the guard, took the back, and got a choke. And that was fun. Like, that was real fun for me, because I remember at the time as well, I was drilling a lot of back attack stuff, and managed to get that. So, I mean, everything, like, I enjoy competing against anyone and everyone. It's just something I really do enjoy competing. Yeah. And I think for me, it definitely has been just a vehicle for getting better, in that I always film my fights, and I look at things, and I try and sit down and watch them afterwards, and see what I can do, see where I was running into trouble, see what problems people gave me, see what problems I gave them, and think, well, next time I need to work on that. But it's good for just mental development as well. Like, you just get really nervous. Only more recently have I started to try and enjoy myself when I'm on the mat, try and listen to some music and get real nice and loose. Before, I used to just be a total frozen stiff mess, and then I would kind of go in there in like total fight or flight mode, and just be like, right, go, and not really think too much about what I was doing. I would just react. But I've always felt like my competition game, I'm far better at competition than what I am in the gym.
Yeah. And then obviously you mentioned, you kind of touched on obviously preparation into going into a fight. So for you, obviously, when you've got a fight, let's say it's an SGI or a Scottish Grappling or whatever competition you're doing, how do you start your preparation for that?
So one thing I don't ever do is just, let's say I've got a no-gi match coming up. One thing I don't ever do is just say, that's it, I'm not training gi. I remember like the week before SGI, I'd still be training gi on a Monday night, because at the end of the day for me, it's like once SGI is over or whatever, like, I want to know, like, I'm still getting better within the gi. I want to know I'm still getting better overall. But for me, it's definitely like a mindset switch. I become really focused on the things I need to do to win. So when if I've got like a competition coming up, I start to think like, right, okay, I need to be in training, looking to take the back. I need to be looking for, leg locks involved. I need to be putting myself in leg lock entanglements and stuff like that. And, the intensity for me just ups a bit. I've not been doing like tons of strength and conditioning ever. It's only more this year that I started to kind of lift weights and things like that a little bit. And even then, it's not been like huge. But I would definitely say it's definitely more of a mindset switch. So I think about competing a lot more. Jiu-Jitsu enters my head a lot more when I'm not training, for sure. And when we do like the competition classes and stuff like that, that's it. I try and go then like bulletproof mode and be like, okay, you're not scoring a point on me. Or I'll constantly be just trying to win little battles in my head. I create little scenarios and things like that. Even if it's someone who I can beat, I say, okay, well, I'll look at the timer and say there's like 15 seconds, and I'm like, right, I have to get a pass in 15 seconds, or I have to get to their back in 15 seconds, or if I'm on their back, I've got to finish them within this amount of time and stuff like that. So I set little mental kind of challenges for myself. And again, I've always tried to make sure that I don't really miss training. It's easier for me a little bit, but I have certainly made sacrifices career-wise to be able to like continue training and things like that, because I knew it was something I wanted to have as part of my life. I knew that I wanted to train, so even when a lot of people don't know, but I was working in Aldi for a lot of years, 3 years, 3.5 years, and then before that I was working in another retail sort of job, and I just told them that I can't do late shifts, you know, so all I ever done was early shifts, so that I could continue having like jiu-jitsu in my life. I didn't like doing shift work or any kind of work that would mean having to go away or anything like that, because I just, you know, I kind of missed it. I definitely feel training and things like that, it's as much a social aspect for me too. When I go to class, I see my friends, I see a group of people who I care about. It's a little community for me, and I just don't think I've ever felt that outside of jiu-jitsu ever, really. Like, you know, I've got guys who are not only my training partners, but they're honestly my friends, and people I care about. So I go there, and it's not really too much of a chore to go to training. Of course, sometimes when you go, you're tired or whatever. But I mean, you go there and you get a laugh with the guys. That's one thing I love about the gym. At our place, like, no one takes themselves like ridiculously seriously. If I'm coaching, the guys can make fun of me, I'll make fun of them. Likewise, when Martin's coaching, you know, we make fun of each other, that kind of thing. It's all just about like having like a solid team environment, but just like a social environment too. You know, that's what I like. So training never really changes for me, but the intensity of when I'm training, you know, it changes. Well, like right now, I've just come back off. Like, I'm honestly just Monday and Wednesday have been the first nights I've been rolling in at least 5 weeks after an injury. So I mean, I try to be playful and things like that when I'm in the gym, especially if there's, you know, guys coming up, because I've got to help other people get better too. It's not just about me. Definitely, like, you know, a lot of people forget that when they're training. It's not just about them getting better. I think it's definitely, you know, if you expect people to turn up to train with you, you have to turn up and train with them back when they have a competition, you know. That's one thing I really, really believe in, is you've got to not only be there for your teammates, they'll be there for you if you're there for them. And that's why I've always tried to, even if I've been injured or whatever, or, you know, don't really feel like it, just make it a pure habit of going to training and being there. Just so you can try and help or make an atmosphere for guys who are training. I've known times in my gym where, you know, it's been really quiet, it's just been getting going, and like there's been 3 people turned up to class, and it's like, you know, like, I don't know if anyone else, like, that's what's, I think, really, you guys down south in the Central Belt, so much more lucky. You know, big towns and things like that, there's always been an interest. But I mean, I've definitely seen it where it's just been like a handful of guys showing up to learn. So I always try and make a point of trying to be at training and stuff like that, just for other people. Trying to make it like a place where people want to be is really key for me.
And then you started, how long ago was it you started coaching? Because obviously I know you're one of the coaches up at SBG, so how long ago was that happened, and how did that come about?
So, myself, Martin Donaldson, Aidan Stephen, Ewan McLeod, and another guy, Doug Nevins, we kind of broke off from what's focused on the ground, the gold team sort of guys, and we wanted to do it by ourselves. So there was literally no choice. It was my teammate Martin, and Coach Martin, he's the head coach, but there wasn't always times where he could make it because of his work. He worked shifts. So it literally did mean that I had to slot in. Now, coaching is so much more than just showing people a move, especially when you're trying to develop a club. I don't think people realise that either. It's massively about, you know, you have to self-develop, constantly trying to like be a better coach, try and constantly thinking of things, asking questions of yourself, you know, is this good enough? How do we get these people better. And I've learned tons. I would definitely say, like, I wasn't always doing it the right way.
Yeah.
So that all started really about 2014-ish, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I started just trying my best to show what I knew.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, we've always made a real point up here of trying to get, excellent coaches up, as best coaches as we can.
Yeah.
So for a while we were getting Carl Panswell up. You know, more recently we just had Kieran Davern. You know, like we'll try and get guys who are going to show like different details and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the guys we get up, Martin Eidma is like a black belt under John Kavanagh,
mm-hmm.
and he's an Estonian guy. And these people have actually, like, I have to credit them, and I'm sure the other coaches will.
Mm-hmm.
They've always like given us something to take away, and things that we definitely implemented in our game,
yeah.
and made changes. And I think that's like something, again, a lot of people perhaps take for granted. You know, people who have started maybe training at the Grip House, started training at Marcos,
mm-hmm.
All those places. They've started with a black belt, someone who's done the full course.
Yeah.
When people started training, you know, at SBG, or just the Jiu-Jitsu Misfits, as it was known then,
mm-hmm.
I was a blue belt and Martin was a purple belt, and that was it. And we were doing our absolute best.
Yeah.
But that meant for us that when we were coaching, we were trying to really just coach pure, like, fundamentals. We knew that, of course, like, teaching people like funky moves and stuff like that, it's fun, but what actually gets people better is teaching them, you know, the real glue that sticks everything together. And that's what we've always tried to do throughout everything, because that's the one thing that made the biggest difference in my game.
Mm-hmm.
When someone came along and was like, just forget all this like nonsense, let's really focus on like key things.
Yeah. Guard
passing, you know, just constant, like, focusing on the like posture and things like that. And I think that's when my game took like my game took a massive leap. Mm-hmm. when we broke off from Gold Team and I started training with Martin almost every day. Mm-hmm. We were really training hard and focusing on key things that mattered, positional sort of game, that kind of thing. And I think that's really something that helps me now, is that I've trained a lot of positional type stuff, and I feel quite confident in the positions that I'm in, especially against the competition that I've got.
Yeah.
You know, that I've had good details given to me by a lot of good coaches, but I've really I feel like I've trained the fundamentals and I kind of understand them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To an extent. I'll probably laugh at myself in a few months when I'm like, I thought I knew, but I thought I knew what was going on there. But yeah, I suppose in a way as well, the more you learn. But it's for really getting us good was just mainly about learning like those fundamentals. Yeah, that's made a massive difference.
That is, I mean, the basics. Basics are important. I mean, you look at everybody who talks about Hodja Gracie. I mean, his jiu-jitsu was basic. I mean, he did a lot of basic things. He would take you down, he would pass your guard, and he would choke you. And I mean, he won 10 world titles, or whatever many world titles he won just doing basic jiu-jitsu. And I think, again, a lot of people, and it's great watching. I mean, you go to these comps, I mean, like, you've got Shea Montague, one of them. I mean, the stuff that boy can do is unbelievable. There's obviously other guys, Ryan Harrower. Yeah, I mean, these guys are absolutely fantastic at obviously the advanced stuff and doing all that crazy stuff. Do you know what I mean? Stuff that I would never even, I'll never be able to do that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? But it's great to see.
But I mean, like, my thoughts on that are whatever suits your game, right? Jiu-Jitsu is such a dynamic, fluid thing. Mm-hmm. It belongs to no one. It's everybody's. Yeah. So someone's like, you have to do this. It's like, no, like, obviously what appeals to me in jiu-jitsu appeals, like, something else appeals to someone else. Mm-hmm. You know, if I like, you know, trying to hit takedowns, trying to play top, and that's fine, you know. The fundamentals still remain the same, but I mean, like, if Shay plays a completely different game to me or to, you know, whoever, but there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people get so now pent up about, like, oh, he does things, he only does this, he only does that, and I'm like, cool, you know, whatever, as long as you enjoy doing jiu-jitsu, I suppose that's the main thing. There's if some guy in the gym goes for wrist locks and stuff like that, then fuck it, whatever. Like, some people are only interested in leg locks, some people are only interested in certain aspects of the game. You know, that's fine, that's all up to them, but, you know, it doesn't belong to anyone. There's no absolute way it should be done, in my opinion. You do what you play your game, but you know, I mean, like, an armbar is still an armbar at the end of the day, but, you know, how you get there and how you want to, like, the tactics you employ to get there should be, you know, that's yours. That's the fun part. That's like the bit that makes it yours. And I suppose once people get to kind of like blue belt level and stuff like that, that's when I think they really can start to enjoy jiu-jitsu, because they can start to use tactics and things like that. It's not just about, you know, just purely surviving or just going for like a triangle straight off the bat. That's the real fun in jiu-jitsu for me, is playing that little battle. You know, and then maybe getting a submission. If you feel like doing a belly and bolo to try and get someone's back, then cool, you know, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I think I actually hate it when people slate like belly and bolo, or when people slate like certain styles of jiu-jitsu, or if people slate, I think this is funny actually, when people slate, especially guys who have done MMA, right? They're like, you know, well, what you've got to remember is it's about MMA, and they say, you know, if you've done that in an MMA fight, you know, you get your face punched in, and it's like, well, funnily enough, you know, if I was in an MMA fight, I probably wouldn't have chose those tactics. So people forget that, and they bitch about the rules of IBJJF and stuff like that, and I'm like, if you don't like it, don't play the game. You know, the rules of the game dictate the tactics that you will play when you get in there. You know, so if someone says to me like, oh, you know, Kev, that was a great deep half sweep, I would have punched you in the face. And it's like, well, you know, I would have been coming out swinging too, so don't fucking say things like that. You know, that's one thing I actually fucking hate, is when people are like, oh, that would never work in a fight. And I was like, but we've actually just agreed to a match where we're not punching each other, and we're actually going to try and submit each other with these particular rules. And especially as well when people say things like, oh, you've not, like, if you haven't submitted the guy, you know, then have you really won? And I'm like, well, yeah, because the rules we're playing said that I won. And people were like, oh, you know, I hate these matches that are so boring and stuff like that. And I'm like, because you don't actually appreciate the such high level of skill. It's so hard to appreciate how good some people are that when you watch them, and maybe it looks like there's not much going on. There's huge amounts going on. It's just perhaps we're not skilled enough to see it. But that's one thing that gets me really going, is when people say, well, you know, but in MMA, and I'm like, wait a minute, these guys, there's nothing wrong with choosing to do jiu-jitsu instead of MMA. Probably a fucking smart idea, considering the way some people who do MMA are turning out now, with the amount of like CBT and things like that they've got. But, you know, like when people are, oh, you know, if he'd done that, he would get his face punched in. And I was like, well, he's chosen not to get his face punched in, so leave him alone.
And a lot of people, I mean, the one a lot of people I heard complaining about was the ADCC final. The absolute final was the Gordon Ryan Buchecha. And they were saying, a lot of people that I'd heard were talking about how boring the fight was and things like that. But again, you kind of touched on it there. I mean, it's high level jiu-jitsu. Do you know what I mean? Jiu-jitsu, it's not always going to be fantastic to watch. Do you know what I mean? But anybody that does jiu-jitsu can appreciate when you see two high level guys like Buchecha and Gordon Ryan going at it. And maybe it wasn't what everybody wanted to see, but for a jiu-jitsu guy, it was a fantastic fight. Do you know what I mean? It was a good fight because it was such a high level fight. Obviously, two top guys going at it. And I'd say that just kind of touch on what you're saying there. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's going to watch it and think this is the best thing ever. And I always laugh when people, when they come to competitions, guys will bring their girlfriend or wife or whatever, and I'll be talking to them and I'll be like, are you enjoying yourself? And they'll be like, no, I don't even know what's happening. Or husband, boyfriend or whatever. So it's not always a spectator sport.
Not always, no. Of course, I remember in SGI I fought Gordon Price. Had a match against Gordon Price. Right?
Yeah.
And my uncle and my cousin, bless them, said, we'll come and watch you, we'll come and support you. And they're boxing fans, MMA fans.
Yeah.
And they watched 4 or 5 fights before it, and they were like, "Oh, that guy there's definitely won," you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they said they called like 5 out of 5 completely wrong, and they said, "Look, Kev, you know, your fight was great, but you know, we didn't really know what was going on, and it's not really a spectator sport that appeals to people who don't do jiu-jitsu," which is fine.
Yeah.
It's so intricate. I think a lot of people say like, "Oh, let's get jiu-jitsu to the Olympics." Mm-hmm. I'm like, absolutely not. No. It's going to ruin it.
Yeah.
I think it's a sport of intricacies, and it just has to be experienced to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And yeah, like people are watching Gordon Ryan and Buchecha and saying, "Oh, they're not impressed" and stuff like that. Like, well, whatever, don't watch it. But some matches do turn out boring. Some matches turn out absolute fire.
Yeah.
I actually think sometimes I think Buchecha, I don't know what it was about his performance at ADCC. Like, I think maybe, you know, he's won more I think he's won most titles in BJJ.
Yeah.
And he's still pretty young. I think he's probably just a bit, like, maybe fed up, possibly.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with. And it could be one of those ones, like, so many people have been nipping at his toes for so long. And he's just gone, like, he can turn it up, because like when Buchecha turns it up, there's nothing there to see than Buchecha just turning it up on someone.
Yeah.
But he could just be a little bit tired of it. And you know, if some guy's coming up who's like 24 years old, Gordon Ryan, who's like, it must be just so phenomenally good that it's so hard to kind of even contemplate how good that guy is.
Yeah.
You know, like, just appreciate what you're watching. Yeah. And it's hard to, like I said, it's so hard to sometimes just get a grasp on just how good these people actually are.
Yeah. And I was at, a seminar a couple of weeks ago with one of my favourite guys, Rodolfo Vieira. And again, he was talking. He's getting back into submission only competitions. Obviously, he's fighting Gordon Ryan. I think it's December.
He's fighting Gordon. Interesting.
So that'll be an interesting one to see, because obviously Rodolfo, back in the day, from brown belt up to maybe 2014, 2015 was up there again with Buchecha. So, and again, when he come in and he did the seminar, it was all about guard passing, which obviously it was going to be guard passing being Rodolfo Vieira. And I think he was the same. He'd reached that point where he was like, well, I think he got a bit fed up with it, and then obviously he started getting into MMA and stuff like that as well. But I think he won, was it the Robert Drysdale competition, the CBD competition, and I think he got the taste of it again. And obviously he's going to be fighting Gordon Ryan December, and it's going to be an interesting fight. It's going to be a very, very interesting fight. So we obviously know how good Gordon Ryan is, and we know how good Rodolfo Vieira was. So it'll be good to see if Rodolfo can kind of bring that back. Do you know what I mean? So who do you fancy out of them two?
Probably based off of recent form. You can't really say anything against Gordon Ryan. Like, anyone who's come up against him, he's pretty much just kind of gone through them.
Yeah.
I suppose it would have been fine to see him face Felipe Pena again, because that seems to be his one bogey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's his one bogey kind of guy, is Felipe Pena.
Yeah.
I suppose there's still questions like about Galvao, Gordon Ryan, but I'd probably, if I had to bet money, I'd probably bet on Gordon Ryan.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be it's not, it doesn't really, I don't think it's been working out well for people who have been betting against him over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I remember becoming aware of him. I don't know if people watch the TriStar Gym channel, but Ras Sahabi highlighted him when he was a purple belt.
Yeah.
And he was in this TriStar Gym training video, and it was about how to deal with punches from the guard.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember coming across this guy Gordon Ryan, and Faraz was like, we've got 3 guys here. We've got Gary Tonin, we've got I can't remember another guy, and then we've got Gordon Ryan, and we're just going to see how these like sports jiu-jitsu guys deal with like an MMA fighter from the top.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching this guy at the time, Gordon, just rinse like this MMA fighter, obviously, that all 3 of them did.
Yeah.
And then I kind of started watching more of his submission only matches and became aware of him as a purple belt, and he was really like skinny and lanky. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh fuck that, that guy's maybe pretty good.
Yeah.
And watch them, but again, it's just so hard to get a feel for how good people actually are.
Yeah.
I was kind of lucky. I've gone and trained over at John Danaher's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And met those guys and stuff, and they all seem pretty nice as well.
Mm-hmm.
At least in person. But yeah, it's so hard to get a gauge really on just how good someone is. Like the roof is so high.
Yeah.
Even again, I'll touch on like some guys who do IBJJF, when they get into the gi and stuff like that, they have absolutely no idea how ridiculously good some of these guys are, and they're getting paid nothing, and they're doing it, but they're phenomenally good.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, boring, and I was like, these guys would absolutely, even at purple belt level and stuff like that, would be rinsing 99% of the black belts around the world.
Yeah. And then for obviously SBG, obviously you guys have got a good team there. I mean, you guys, when you come to competitions, always put on a good performances. It's obviously a really good team. So who's some of the guys that you've maybe got coming through that maybe not a lot of people know about? So who are we looking forward to seeing in the future?
So Callum Clark, aka Slocky Shark, he has just fought on the Art of Combat, right? Mm-hmm. And I wish I could have put on a performance like that in my first amateur fight. So Callum, there's like massive confusion over the weight, right? So Callum was told ages ago, right, okay, you're going to make 66 kg day before, so you're going to be featherweight day before, okay? And then the week of the fight, they were like, oh, the fight's falling through, there's no fight. And then we were like, right, we'll fight at 70, or we'll fight at 68, or we'll fight at 66.
Yeah.
The day before the weigh-in, Callum, I think, lost in it, didn't have an opponent, and then was prepared to make either 66, 68, or 70 the next day, you know? So it didn't matter. He did, like, absolute solid as fuck. Mm-hmm. Made weight, it turned out to be 70, so he was going to be fighting at featherweight, jumped up to lightweight, and made weight like a boss, went in absolutely stone cold, and put on an absolute clinic on this guy.
Yeah.
So that was amazing, especially since, Callum has had no combat sports background. I think he played tennis, and got he's from a small town near Buckie in Scotland, and like the local sport there is just getting blazing. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much what he's done his entire life. Played a bit of tennis and got blazing, and I really like the fact that we've taken him from zero martial arts experience to having his first fight. That's something that gives me a lot of pleasure. I see a lot of guys, right, who they're like, oh, this person's coming through, whatever, but it's been like, all right, actually, someone else has coached them Muay Thai up to a certain level, then they break through, or someone else has coached them judo to an excellent level, or someone else has coached them to like a competent level, then a coach is taking them on, and then they're like, oh, look at this. I really appreciate the fact that, up in Elgin there wasn't really much, where we're from, there wasn't really much going on in the way of combat sports, to be honest. Yeah. Especially for people who wanted to do MMA. The other kind of teams shunned it, so we had to do it, and the people who are going to come through are going to have come through having pretty much zero combat sports background, and that's something I feel really like proud of being part of SBG. Is we're taking people who have got no combat sports experience and putting them out, and there's some young guys coming through now, and I'm quite excited about them, some younger teenagers. But one thing I'm proud of too is that it's not only just a place for people who compete. The competitors get the name and they get the credit and they get well known, right? But there's people at my gym who are in their 40s. There's men, women who have got more excuses not to be there than to be there. Okay, so they've got kids, they've got jobs, they might have illnesses, whatever. They have got more of an excuse not to be there, but they come there, and that says something for me about the gym and the environment that we're trying to cultivate. And if they want to come and do jiu-jitsu because they want to have a better understanding of what's going on and they're watching MMA, if they're doing it because they're a police officer or whatever, and they might end up in an altercation, cool. Like, we have to serve those people too. Have to serve people who are not just interested in doing MMA, doing combat sports. And I think that's just to do with our demographic. That's the area we live in. Again, perhaps lucky that down south there's a lot more younger guys coming through who want to do MMA. In Elgin it seems to be more of a town where people tend to probably move away to chase opportunities, that kind of thing. It seems to be a town that after school, people either get like an apprenticeship or they go off to uni and that kind of thing. So, the guys that we bring through are definitely pure organic. They've, probably not done combat sports or played sports to a high level. And that's something I think I'm really proud of in general, is that up here, we're putting guys on the map, like, and we're not just being a token part. We're not just being token Scots. That's something I'm quite proud of in general. Is people up north we're more than holding our own. Aiden's fighting on Cage Warriors, got a positive record. So there's guys, like across the north, like Paul McBain and stuff like that, Ross, and putting us, like, and saying that, like, actually there is things up here, because when you look at the football and stuff, it's like the Aberdeen M&S, like, most of the time they get stomped, and people tend to think of that. I remember playing football, or we're playing a team from up north, they're going to be shit. And we're kind of used to being second best up here, playing second fiddle. But I'm really proud that, like, if you mention jiu-jitsu or combat sports, that I think we definitely deserve a mention in Scotland, and not just for competition, but when you come up, there's all sorts of people in the gym, and that's what makes it a good place to be. And that's what I think some people forget. They go to these gyms all over the world and stuff like that, but it's all about culture. You can have a culture of guys who are only there for themselves and to compete and stuff like that. But I when I go to training, I know that I'm going to meet people, and there's people going to be there that I get on with, and I'm going to enjoy being there. And there's people who love to compete there as well. There's a good mix of people. I think we're on to something good really up here. And it feels like we're just getting started too. We've got another Jiu-Jitsu fundamentals course coming through, which I'll be coaching after I come back from holiday. I'm quite excited to do that. And there's just a lot of opportunities happening up here, and I'm quite proud of that.
Nice one. And then you mentioned obviously working in retail, and then obviously you became qualified in sports massage, remedial and sports massage. So how did that again come about for you? So what made you do the jump from obviously retail over to that?
So had been injured a couple of times. I'd say that's the only thing that's actually kept me away from training over the years. I've never actually not gone to training. For it. Like, you get guys who drop in, drop out, that kind of thing. I've never been like that, really. I think I've pretty much stuck it out. And the only times I haven't been training, I got like 2 injuries. So I remember doing actually it was the Caledonian Combat, no time limit, submission only grappling tournament, right?
Yeah.
And in that, I got double gold, but I popped my LCL trying to hold my flat at somebody, and then I took a couple of weeks off and came straight back, and then immediately damaged my AC joint in my shoulder, and it kind of set questions going in me. I was like, how has this happened? I've 2 injuries, and I went and seen this physio who, like, honestly really super inspired me. Just was like, he taught me all about the body, and I just thought to myself, you know what, there's no way that I cannot not learn a little bit about what this guy knows. He really was amazing, right? I give him a shout out. In fact, his name's like Greg Smith. He's a top physio, a nice guy, and treated me really well, and just set the ball rolling in my head. He kind of lit a fire there. So I had the interest, and I kind of thought to myself, well, what can I do? Because I'm working. I'd kind of fucked up my first venture doing photography and that, failed at that, and I wasn't doing anything else. And someone then asked me later on, they said, who's your sports therapist at the gym? And I said, well, we don't have one. And then a penny sort of dropped, and I was like, I'm going to be that guy. Like, I'm not doing fucking anything else with myself. That's going to happen. So it took me a couple of years, and even then, I didn't still quite believe in myself. I just was always that little bit afraid of leaving like a secure, well, what I told myself was a secure job. Told myself, even though I'm working in retail, I can still, work on clients, I can still train and stuff like that. But I was knackered. I would get up at 5 in the morning to go to work in Aldi. I would serve like a motherfucker. Anyone who ever seen me at work told me how miserable I looked, right? Honestly, like, people think I look like Gordon Ramsay. It's just because I had such a big frown in my head, man. But people told me how miserable I looked all the time. And the only thing, I was getting a good reputation for doing sports. As people were saying, this guy's passionate, he's helping me through, and I was really, I'm still honestly so passionate about learning about the body and how it works, how to help people get better. And something kind of clicked. I realised, I said, Kevin, if you don't go now, you're just going to be the same. You're going to be even more miserable in 5 years' time. Then this one thing happened, right? This woman, I'm going to tell this story. This woman complained about me, in fact. I'm going to read out the complaint, right? I have this complaint on my phone. Someone complained about me, and it is hilarious, right? I'm going to read it out to you. But they called me into the office one day, and they're like, Kevin, I know you really don't want to be here, that kind of thing, but you really need to buck up your ideas, mate, because we've got a really, really bad customer complaint about you. So, and the picture, like, the person is everything you would picture somebody who complains about the server in Aldi to be, right? Okay? So, this is how it goes. It says, my visit to the store was good, but the customer service was disgraceful. That'll be because I served there, right? Kevin took his time coming to the till. His was the only till on. The other staff had their tills closed. At the time he was serving me, he ate sweets from his pocket. That is true. No pleasantries were exchanged as he scanned my goods. So I basically said fuck all to this woman. In silence, he had a good look at everything I bought as he went along, and he told me the amount to pay with no please. I assumed I was paying by card, but had to cancel the payment as I was paying by cash. If he'd bothered to ask, he would have been told it would be cash. He did not say thank you either after I'd paid. Extremely rude. with a very big attitude problem. If he's on the till when I go back into your store, I will leave and go elsewhere for my shopping. So someone said that about me, right? And I was just like, fuck this. I have to go, because that is not me as a person. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not fucking miserable. I'm pretty positive and outgoing.
Yeah.
You know, I like my life. I hated working there. I hated not doing what I was wanting to do. I hated working for, you know, whatever it was and ever.
Yeah.
And, you know, just not really feeling like seeing through my opportunities, doing what I was good at. And then just, you know what, I just decided to go full speed and jump. I tried my hardest, putting out ads on Facebook, that kind of thing, and I got a massive response. And then I just was like, yeah, that's it, I'm going to go. Yeah. And honestly, it's been the best thing that I've ever done. If anyone's like interested in, you know, starting their own business and that kind of thing, and they're doing it on the side, I mean, I honestly just think it's going to be the best thing that you ever do, because if you're miserable at your job, you're going to be miserable at your job for the next 5 or 10 years if you don't decide to go, and you're going to hate yourself more for the fact that you didn't do it. And so many people told me, don't, you know, go do it, and then some people would say, oh no, but you know, there's going to be quiet periods. You know, a lot of times those people are just scared because they don't have the balls to do it themselves, and they're kind of trying to put their fears and their failures onto you. So, I mean, like, someone put in a miserable complaint about me, and I think it's the funniest thing in the world. I hope people actually enjoy that, because some absolute fucking monster that actually wrote that about me. And I thought, you know what, that's not me. People are giving me good reviews for what I do during sports massage, and I love doing it. So it's fun to go and do that, man. Let's go and do that. So yeah, it's been good. I've been doing that since the end of July now, and I'm loving it. So
nice one.
Enjoying
nice
my life.
And then, obviously, for you, downtime. What kind of things do you like to do? Obviously, away from the mats, away from obviously sports massage. So how do you get your downtime in?
So I don't really play games or do anything like that. You know, I'm not into gaming and stuff. So I suppose I would say I really enjoy spending time with. I've got 2 beautiful nieces, Eva and Ella. Yeah. They're going to be coming on holiday with me.
Right.
And one of the things I really, really wanted to go self-employed for was so that I'd be able to spend my time at the weekend and stuff like that with them. At least right now, that's something that I'm enjoying being able to do, and give them my time, and be able to buy them nice things and stuff like that, and be there for them. I mean, I honestly don't really do that much. I like going for coffee, that kind of thing. Just get exploring, and I like to, when I've got time and stuff, I like if I've got the opportunity to go visit. Like, I wouldn't exactly call it travelling, but I'm lucky that I get to go around the UK with. Aiden's got fights. I've got family who live in Glasgow, and my sister lives in London. When I go down there, I get to visit guys at the Grip, visit guys down at Roger Gracie's in London, and I go to New School PJJ, that kind of thing. I'm really lucky in that sense. That's what I like to do. But I love spending time with Eva and Ella, my nieces. And I mean, I don't, honestly, I sound horrendously boring if there's like people thinking that my life sounds exciting. It's honestly not. Monday to Friday, I'm generally in that gym and grafting hard, coaching or training or doing sports massage. But I mean, I don't do. I just like, you know, chilling, whatever. But I would say that just now for sure. I enjoy, you know, spending time with those two. That's cool. That's something, you know, I thought about a long time ago. I remember one Sunday, my niece was over, and she's only like 3 at the time, and my niece knew all the time. She said anytime I went anywhere, she said, "You're going to work," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm constantly going to work." And one thing I said on this Sunday, it happened to be a Sunday. I think they were going off to go to the beach or something like that. I said, you know, I'm going to do this. When I go self-employed, I'm going to spend more time with you, because you know, you live close to me. I'm not that lucky. I don't live close to any of my extended family and stuff.
Yeah.
But I kind of thought, like, well, these girls live close to me, so I want to properly be their uncle.
Yeah.
And I'd be able to spend time with them. So that's something that meant a lot to me when I was going self-employed too. So
Yeah.
that's what I'll say I do. Just to hide the fact that I'm actually pretty boring.
And then what about the kids? Are you going to get the kids going to go into Jiu-Jitsu when they're older?
Those two. Well, the funny thing is, my sister and her husband own a sports karate kickboxing gym.
Right.
So she'll probably be a black belt faster than what I am. So I think she'll be into. She's into. This wee one here is into kickboxing just now.
Yeah.
And whatever. I teach kids classes at the gym too. I honestly believe let kids be kids. If they want to do jiu-jitsu, then cool. Let them do that. There's some cool kids. Kids have got some real cool kids at our gym, with some like bright personalities and stuff like that. That's one thing I honestly used to hate. I used to hate teaching kids class when I worked, because I would I'd finish work and I was like, oh my god, I've got these screaming brats for like an hour. And honestly now, like, I love joking with them and stuff like that, and they're coming on really well. And they keep me on my toes, and I like joking around with them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's actually, when you think about it, it's actually a pleasure. Like, it's an honour to be able to actually teach kids. A lot of people will be like, oh, thank God I don't do that. But, teach them, it's a big responsibility, and, they're coming on along well, with the help. It's me and Martin that teach the kids classes. So,
nice.
Just let kids be kids, is what I say.
Definitely. And then, obviously, final thing then for you, Kevin. Obviously, if it wasn't for MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, what would you be doing?
I'll probably be a loser. Honestly, like, I'd definitely say, like, my attitude towards a lot of things was very, very unhealthy throughout, before I started training. A very unhealthy attitude towards failure. I didn't like any kind of failure. I would kind of turn and run in the opposite direction, Failed my driving test 7 times. Like, I would get, like, rejected from my job, and I'd be like, oh, it's because that job, and it's because they're, this. I never kind of took responsibility and tried to develop myself. I'd probably just be an unhealthy piece of shit.
Right.
Or I would be going out, I'd be drinking, I'd be wasting my time probably. That's what I think. There was a certain time in my life where I kind of thought, it would just be so much easier if I just hadn't done jiu-jitsu, or if I didn't live here, I lived somewhere else. And, I kind of realised that that's totally not the way to be. You've got power over your own. You've totally got power over your own life. You can make choices to change things. And I said, well, you might as well try and make this the best you can make it. I honestly don't know what I would be doing without jiu-jitsu. I don't know where I would be. But it's massively helped my life. It's helped me improve. It's helped my mindset towards a lot of things. I didn't always think like that. One thing I wanted to say as well is that I feel like a lot of people, when they start jiu-jitsu and stuff, everyone raves about it and think, oh, it's great. But when a person first starts, they think, like, and they're obsessed with progress. They're like, oh man, I suck at this. So the people who just first start doing jiu-jitsu, just make it a part of your life. Try not to worry too much about progress, because you think, oh, this person started the same time as me, they're tapping me, they're getting better, I suck, leave, right? Doesn't matter. It's not who's good, it's who's left. If you can try and make it for the first, let's say, 1.5 years, 2 years, just make it a part of your life. You're going to get better. I honestly sucked at jiu-jitsu for the longest time. And then, like, things started to change when I just decided I would make it my mindset to just, I was like, okay, well, I'll just turn up. I don't care about getting a blue belt or a purple belt or whatever. I just thought, I wonder how good I can get at this. And that is honestly through turning up. I really believe in just trying to make consistency, the key for everyone. If you start jiu-jitsu, just keep going.
Yeah.
Even if you're getting beat and you're getting tapped and stuff like that, just keep going, because probably the people who, you know, are beating you or tapping you, they'll probably drop off with things, you know, like everyone does. I've seen so many people come and go. It could be good if they just stuck at it, but they were too busy focusing on how they were doing and their progress. I really honestly think, like, if you can just stick it out for, let's say, the year, 2 years, you're going to start to get good just by coming. You know, you'll start to see things. You know, obviously you have to put in the effort, but just turning up for the first little while and making it a habit and making it part of your life, that will definitely see you get better. You might not realise it, but you're just making little changes, and once it's part of your life, then all there is to do is get better. You know, it's part of my life. I'll do it until the day I die. Bar any crazy circumstances. I want to do jiu-jitsu until the day that I die.
I mean, you're one of the guys. You're definitely one of the guys in Scotland that people look up to. Just because obviously when you go out to competitions, as I say, you do put in everything you've got. At competitions, I'd say obviously the results have pretty much shown. And you're one of the guys, I'd say, one of the guys out there. And as I said, I look at and again, I've been around obviously jiu-jitsu for a number of years now, and I kind of look and say, well, I've got a list of who I think, for me, obviously everybody's list will be different. But who I think some of the best blue belts in Scotland, and who I think some of the best blue belts, purple belts are, and brown belts and black belts and things like that. And I'd say for me, you're definitely on that list of the top purple belts in Scotland. And I'm always one of these guys. I love like Scottish Jiu-Jitsu. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Jiu-Jitsu everywhere else is great, but for me, whenever I see guys doing well in competitions from Scotland, I think it's brilliant. Do you know what I mean? So I'll post it on the Scottish Jiu-Jitsu page and stuff like that. So, and I love it. And I'd say for you, you're the guy that I'd say a lot of people look up to, in my opinion.
That's an amazing thing to hear. I appreciate that. Honestly, just what I do try hard when I go out and compete. I will give it my all. Next year, I really want to do some bigger shows, do some IBKGF competitions, some bigger shows, that kind of thing. I do honestly try hard. I love the fact that if people are looking up to me, like that's awesome. Like you know, I would never ever have thought that I would be that kind of person. But I mean, that's amazing, and you know, much love to everyone then who looks up to me, or you know, if they feel like inspired or whatever. It might sound a bit cheesy, but if they do, like, I would honestly just say, just keep making it part of your life, and get the benefits out of jiu-jitsu that are for you. It doesn't have to be about winning gold medals or whatever, just because, like I said, it's done so much for me. Other than that, like, doing competitions and stuff like that is something that's great that I can do while I'm young, and I've got the abilities to do that. So I'm going to try as hard as I can. But you know, just there's so many other benefits, social, just learning about yourself, and self development and that kind of thing. If people look up to me, like that's a cool thing. That's an honour. If people are looking up to me for whatever reason, you know, I hope to do. I suppose people proud. I hope to do my team proud. And really try and represent as best I can.
And then for SBG, how do guys find you? Let's say guys are maybe travelling, or even guys in the local area. How do they find you? Where are you guys based?
Every MMA gym in the world is, apart from the massive ones, are hidden in some back corner, right? But and you know, you got to search SBG Moray, search for us on Facebook and Google. You'll find us. We are based just near Asda in Elgin. So if you look for the Asda in Elgin, you'll be able to see our sign from the front door. Come on in. If any guys are up, you get to train for free. If you're wanting to start, it's a week free trial. Again, we've got a fundamentals course coming up on the 15th of October. And I'll be teaching that along with Martin Donaldson. There's kids classes, kids MMA, there's kids BJJ, adults classes. Everyone's welcome. Just because we've got pro fighters and things like that on the mat doesn't mean that you can't come if you're just looking to get fit, that kind of thing. Everyone's welcome.
Yeah, brilliant. So any guys listening, if you're obviously up north, definitely hit up SBG. Obviously you can get them on Facebook. Kevin's on Facebook all the time. He's always posting something that's usually jiu-jitsu related. I think the funniest one was the Caleb Johnson Lachlan Giles one. I've seen that recently. So that was a quite funny one. But yeah, you're always on Facebook. You can look at Kevin's pictures. I mean, some of Kevin's pictures are brilliant. I like the one as well. There was you and Shay Montague standing with your purple belts and your shades on, trying to look serious.
No Shay, that kind of thing. Shay's like, yeah, let's definitely do this. I'll give her a shout. Like Shay started training with us as well, from nothing. Massive achievement. I put Shay the best purple belt in Scotland, if not Britain. One world, good pal of me, like a little brother kind of. And Shay's like phenomenal. Brilliant talent at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Again, I'll people to thank as well. Like Shay's helped me get better over the past couple of years. Martin Donaldson's like my best mate, Jiu-Jitsu coach as well. He's always like pushed us. Aiden coaches at the gym as well. He's doing so well just now on Cage Warriors, trying to put the guys on the map. The original Misfits, Ginge as well. He's fighting again soon. He took time off to have 2 kids, but now he's back in the gym. He's going to have another fight soon. Fighting against a guy who's in the eliminations for the Cage Warriors featherweight title. Douglas Nevins was a misfit as well. He's off. He's got his own gym now. He's doing amazing at like Greco style wrestling, freestyle wrestling. He's really into his wrestling and stuff like that just now. All these guys help each other get better. Everyone who comes to the gym helps make it be a place that I want to be every night. Thank you so much, guys. That's all I've got to say really about that. Just please keep coming. If you're up in this area, come in, stop by, say hello. If you don't know me or whatever and you see me at a competition, come and say hello. I think it's the best thing about Scottish competitions. Everyone gets on. There's no one I don't really get on with in Scotland at all. So I love the fact that it's a good community. Just come and say hi. And if you're up here and want to train, for sure, come on in and train.
Definitely. Well, it's been a pleasure, Kevin. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'd say that I do enjoy these podcasts because I'd say it kind of gives everybody a chance to see you as a person or hear about you as a person. Obviously, things that people don't know. So listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Obviously, you go and enjoy yourself on your holiday. Obviously, get that bit of downtime, mate, and then come back strong. All right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right.
Right. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
Have a good one, alright buddy. Cheers again.
Right, cheers. See you later, bye.
Bye. So guys, that was Kevin McAloon. Kevin McAloon, obviously a purple belt in Scotland. So anybody in Scotland knows exactly who Kevin is. As I said, you've seen him competing. As I said, he came up against some of the top guys in Scotland, and he's beat a lot of the top guys in Scotland. So obviously one of the coaches up at SBG Moray, obviously running a great team up there. Obviously him and Martin Donaldson, as I said, doing absolutely wonderful things up there. As I said, middle of nowhere, but I mean these guys when they come to compete, these guys come to compete and they win. Mention obviously Shay Montague as well. As I said, it's good to hear obviously Kevin mentioning Shay, because again, Scottish Jiu-Jitsu, Shay's definitely one of the top guys that we've got. So great to hear. As he mentioned, obviously if you're ever up north and you want to train, just hit them up at SBG Moray on the Facebook page. If you've got Kevin on Facebook, then obviously just hit him up. These guys are always willing to train with anybody, as he said. So listen, guys, thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.